It's another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of our live Saturday broadcast from InWheelTime.com. This is your weekly go-to award-winning car talk show, In Wheel Time. Just ahead, we go live to the Groesbeck Grand Prix. We also take a sneak peek into this week's Mystery Garage. The week in automotive history is ahead, as well as automotive stories making news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars down there. King Conrad DeLong right here, Don Armstrong here. Glad you could join us. And right now, we are going to go directly to our waiting guests. Michael Satterfield, he's the race director out there at the Groesbeck Grand Prix. And Michael, it's great to have you with us. And so tell me a little bit about what's going on out there.
Well, we're really excited to be here. It's going to be a really fun event. It's been a big project to put on, but we're holding a inaugural 1.2 mile time trial and a car show and kind of a festival of motorsports that we think is going to be a lot of fun and be a real draw for Central Texas and be a great event for people from all over Texas to come and enjoy.
When is this?
September 5th and 6th. The big day is Sunday the 6th. That's when we're going to have the actual time trial and the car show. But it's kind of going to be a weekend event, so if people want to come out and camp and hang out for the weekend, there's going to be stuff happening on Saturday and Sunday.
What kind of a time trial? What kind of a track?
So it's a closed public road. We've actually shut down a county road that we got permission from the county, and we're working with all the local authorities to make this happen. And we're shutting down this really beautiful tree-lined kind of curvy country road that's going to dump out onto the parade grounds of Old Fort Parker, which is a really cool, dramatic setting because you come out of the trees and then you're in this parade ground with a pioneer fort and a giant Native American arrow stuck in the ground. And it's a really neat place, and it's going to be a really special event.
So tell us, where is Groesbeck?
So it's about the same distance from Austin, Houston, and Dallas. It's about 2.5 hours, roughly. So it's off Highway 14, about 40 miles east of Waco.
Okay, so 2.5 hours. We could do that in a quick drive.
Yeah, it's right in the middle of all three of the big metropolises.
Day
here.
tripping.
Yeah.
A day trip. So what time do the festivities get underway?
Well, the shows, we actually start shutting down the road at 10 o'clock. So everyone's got to be in on the property before 10. And it goes to about 3 o'clock when we'll reopen the road and allow people to exit and come and go. But it's going to be, like I said, all weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Eventually, we plan to grow this to a multi-day event and have other things going on. But obviously, with COVID, we had to scale things back this year.
Yeah.
The main thing people do need to know is that they do have to pre-purchase tickets, and they can do that on the GroesbeckGrandPrix.com. There's a ticketing page because we have to limit the number of people that can come to the event because of the COVID situation.
Spell Groesbeck. Spell Groesbeck for us.
Groesbeck.
Okay, just wanted to make sure so we're all on the same page.
And I put the link to the Grand Prix on our Facebook page.
Okay, very nice.
Awesome.
Well, also sitting in on this Zoom call is Richard Tomlin from Apex Auto Works. Richard, how are you doing, sir?
Amazing day of racing down here at MSR, getting ready for Groesbeck in 2 weeks.
Motorsports Resort down in Angleton, or headed down toward Angleton, just north of Angleton exactly. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm. That is correct. We're running an SCCA event today. We got about 50 entrants participating, and we'll be running a Lone Star Drift this afternoon, which will have about probably 300 entrants out there sliding cars around as well. So just motorsports festivities all over the Houston area today.
Now that event is going to be held on the road course?
Yes. We've sectioned off the road course for them, and the same thing we do with the track sprint is basically an introduction to road racing, and then the drifting in the afternoon, of course, is a little bit different than regular road racing, but they can use a road course circuit the exact same way.
Do you have a tire supplier down there for all the smoked out, burned out cord showing through tires?
They have a couple of them, actually. I think there's three vendors on site.
Yeah? Don's Used Tires, is that one of them? Just checking.
Don's is not down here today.
Oh, okay.
Don wants to bring the Corvette and do some drifting in the Corvette because he knows how cheap those rear tires are.
No, I'm good.
We need to get you guys down in the track sprint layout and have a good time.
Well, we need to try that. Who you got with you there?
Well, I've got one of our entrants that's going up to Groesbeck with us.
Okay.
And that is?
My name's Kyle Hale.
Hi, Kyle. So what kind of vehicle are you entering today and up at Groesbeck?
It's a built 2002 BMW M3, so it's heavily modified. It was once a good-looking M3, but now it just looks like a race car.
Yeah.
So is this one Apex did with you?
He helped with a little bit of the online advice, that free advice that Richard likes to hand out, but they haven't actually done any of the work on the car.
So Richard gave you advice to make it look ugly.
Yes. But faster, right? Long as it's faster,
that's
what
right.
we care about.
Yeah, put some more stickers on it, and that'll make it go faster, at least in our mind. Yeah, there is that.
Throw all that comfort out of the interior. You don't need that for a race car.
So you're entering that car there at MSR this weekend, and you're going to take it to Groesbeck in 2 weeks?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And actually, I entered the track sprint this morning to practice my cold start, since Groesbeck will be a standing start down the 1.2-mile stretch.
So that's something that we have a lot of competitors are going to have to adapt to, because it's not often that we get a standing start race where your car is set up to have warm brakes and warm tires, as we all know from watching racing on TV. But when you're starting with that stuff cold at the end of 1.2 miles, you're barely getting tires up to temp and brakes up to temp. So people are changing the tire setup that they're running on the car. Some of them are even playing with alignment. And then, of course, your brake pad bias gets changed a little bit, and pad makeup.
Trying to put a little bit more heat in it early?
Yep, got to generate some heat.
So are there
least.
So are there different classes of cars all racing at the same time?
In this event, we will have multiple classes racing at the same time. But again, this is like a time trial type event. So we will be sending a car about every 45 seconds. As soon as one car finishes the course, we'll be launching the next car.
Now you're talking about, are you talking about the event today down there at MSR?
Groesbeck.
At Groesbeck. Oh, okay. All right.
Yep. So you'll be able to watch one car come by at a time, listen to what I call the mechanical noises that the car makes, be able to see how that driver handles and controls the car. And that's some of the art of what we do with these vehicles, is being able to make the actual correct mechanical sounds and watch them wiggle and shake down the track.
So Groesbeck is a little bit of the Texas Goodwood.
That's the goal for sure. I tell people it's the Goodwood Festival of Speed in Central Texas, and Mike's got some amazing aspirations, and I tell you what, I'm all in to see what else we can build. The scale back hurt this year, but it allows us an opportunity to make sure we're doing everything correctly, test our ticketing processes, all of our safety protocols, and make it only better for 2021.
So am I invited to go up there to Groesbeck in the Apex Auto Works transport bus, motorhome, that sort of thing?
Absolutely. I'll even put a seatbelt in the bed of the truck for you.
I just strap him in the Miata you got in the open trailer you're dragging up.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time that I've been strapped to the back of a truck. I'm good back there.
At least it's not the hood yet.
Not yet. There's that. Yeah, it is deer season. Yeah. So, at any rate, let's get back to Michael Satterfield. Mike, can we go up there and watch, or do we have to buy an actual ticket to race?
Well, you need to buy their spectator tickets. It's $10 for Sunday, the main day. So you do have to have a ticket to get in, because we do have to control the total number of people we can have on site.
Sure.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, originally we were planning to have that, at gate ticketing, but to control that number, we do have to have pre-ordered tickets, so that way we know who's coming and have everyone pick up their stuff. But we've got some really cool vehicles that are going to be on display, some great cars racing. And it's going to be a really cool open kind of festival. We got some good vendors coming, some food trucks that will be out there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great event. There's a lot of shade. It's a big open field, but there's some big shade trees, so you can hang out in the field, watch the cars go by, check out the concours, and make a great day of it all.
So there is a concours event that goes along with it.
Yes, actually, inside the old vintage Pioneer Fort, we have a very select group of cars that are going to be inside there that are competing for a trophy, and we've got a couple other People's Choice and some local officials that are doing some Sheriff's Choice Awards and things like that. So it'll be pretty cool. Again, this year is scaled back from what we'd originally planned, but we've got some really exciting cars coming from as far away as North Carolina, to be part of this event. So it is drawing people from all over the country, and we have some great cars from all over Texas coming.
Did I misread? You said the Sheriff's Choice Award. Is that what you said?
Yes. Yeah, we actually had a great meeting with our local sheriff. He's super excited. He's a car guy. He actually owns a Triumph Spitfire himself. And he's actually going to come out, and they're going to have one of our sheriff's vehicles be our safety car that'll clear the course for us ahead each time. So it'll be pretty fun.
So they're not.
They're going to be used to getting out to pushing the Triumph off the track.
Well, I was kind of more concerned about whether or not he was bringing his ticket book, since it is a closed road course that is actual a highway up there.
Well, I'm sure they had to get permission from the local sheriff's department to close the course, as well as set up security on both ends to make sure Granny doesn't go wandering through the track at some point.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's been really great. The local communities really come around and kind of coalesce around this event. We've got the cities of Mahia and Groesbeck, which are super involved with promoting the event and supporting it, and then the local sheriffs, the county judge. Everybody's been really excited to see something different and new come to the area, and the people that it's going to bring to the area and kind of expose our really cool community that we have out there.
Well, we're happy you have a county judge that works with the community.
Yeah.
Oh,
did I just say that?
There's that. That's it. Wanted to ask you, and I'm just visioning in my mind that that does have some undulations in the topography out there, and that it's not flat like it is in Houston, Texas.
It's got a few little undulations to it. It's got some curves. A lot of people have been mistaken in going and looking at Google Maps and looking at the road, and Google's never driven down that road, so they just show it as a straight line. But it's definitely not a straight line. There's some great curves and undulations and some little bumps and stuff that'll make it a little more exciting for the drivers. And then there's a big 90-degree turn at the end of it that sweeps out into the parade grounds, and it's going to be really cool because it's just going to be a great visual for our media guys are taking pictures there, and all the spectators to see these really cool classic cars and really unique race cars come around the corner and then go through this really dramatic straight down towards the fort.
Well, Michael, Richard, we thank you so much for being with us today and telling us about the Groesbeck Grand Prix. Again, that's, a couple of weeks?
Yep, September 5th and 6th.
Okay, so Labor Day weekend.
And we've got their link posted on our Facebook page.
Okay, very good. Well, gentlemen, thanks again. We really appreciate it. Good luck down there at Motorsports Resort. Richard and your guests there, we look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thanks again, and we hope to be in touch soon.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. All right, this week in automotive history, that is going to be coming up in just a moment. I have to get my act together because I've been just a little.
Well, you just got to push a button to play the next commercial.
You make it sound so simple, but it's more than just one button. It's multiple buttons. And let me show you how that works.
Well, we just want to push your buttons.
Well, you've already done that. But let me show you, if I can get my act together, how it works. Clearly it's not working very well at all. And you have absolutely no room
When
to
might
laugh.
you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
A social distancing tip.
Putting distance between yourself and others is critical to slowing the spread of coronavirus. So here are ways to stay in contact without the physical contact part. Call, send a text, set up a video conference, post on social media, dedicate a song on the radio. If you have symptoms of fever, dry cough, and shortness of breath, call your healthcare provider before going to their office. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
I have to tell on myself.
Nobody else will.
I'm surprised that
Unless we get the chance.
Exactly. And you've had chances, but nobody ever said anything, so far anyway, about my water spillage earlier today.
You haven't seen what's been out there on Facebook.
You have no clue what has happened here. And I'm going to tell on myself because right before we went on the air, I had this bottle of water that was full. You can see that it's down to half a bottle.
And the cap off.
Yeah, and the cap off. And not only did I spill it once, but I spilled it twice.
All over your papers and my papers.
This is my automotive news stories that's coming up. I had highlighted several sections in it. It's all messed up, as you can tell. So it ought to be a real hoot to listen to that when I'm
explaining something about Ford Relay.
I love this show. I keep telling myself that. Do I really?
Yes, you do.
Some days are better than others. There's no doubt about that. So, time now for the Mystery Garage. And I want to do something a little bit different today. Of course, I do something different every Mystery Garage. But I thought, you know what? If you got property and you want to build a garage, what kind of garage would you build? Would you build, just one of those metal building garages? No. Why would you do that? Because if you put just a little bit of extra effort into it, you could build a garage like this. Now, so you've got the gas pump. Now, that's not some super, super antique. Probably from the late 50s, early 60s, I would guess.
Early 60s, yeah.
Notice we've got the Coca-Cola machine in front of the window. The only thing that I wouldn't do is I wouldn't mix brands. I would have a brand and pick it because here's one: Mobil Oil and Texaco on the same driveway. But, there is confusion. Maybe it was bought out by Mobil or Texaco or something. But whatever the case, it gives you an opportunity to, this is actually a 3-car garage, but I wanted to show the main entrance. So we've got the office, we got the bathroom in there, and then we got a 3-car garage. I just thought that this was really cool. If you're going to build a garage on your property, this is kind of
that's the way to do it. Yeah.
It's got a wooden phone booth there.
Yeah, and you get somebody.
Those are hard to find.
I know. Yeah, they are. Well, you would know because Mars used to, yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the second picture. Okay, so what would you have inside that garage? And that's what you would have inside the garage. Maybe a little bit more modern wall art. Maybe perhaps what would have been the cover out there over the gas pumps for the Shell Oil Company. But I thought that was pretty cool. Plus, the guys clearly got some really nice cars. But, part of having a garage with nice cars, you got to have a little display going on. But how much would it really take to do something like that? Because let's face it, that facade up above the cars there that has the Shell on it, that's pretty much paint except for the Shell letters.
Right.
Yeah, that's paint. He's got a couple of matching gas pumps there, but, it's not that hard to do if you put your mind to it.
They do those replica gas pumps now. It's so easy to find.
Yeah.
I mean, every swap meet's got bunches of them.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, these are from Car Guy Garage. And there's people send
pictures of their garage.
So I thought that this was really cool. And I'm going to go over to Craig's house and take a picture of what he did. But this, okay, so, yeah, he's got a lot of room here. He's got his 6-car collection. But they're all facing the wall that he's put this piece of artwork, a mural, if you will, but that's done with a printer, a great big commercial printer.
Okay.
It's like wallpaper.
It's like wallpaper. And it's a picture, obviously, of cars in a drive-in, not of this era. But notice what he did with the screen. So he's got an overhead projector, and where the screen is in the picture, he put the screen for the overhead projector. So everybody's there looking at it, and then his cars are lined up in the back as well.
So you go sit in his cars and watch the movie.
And he's also got, you'll notice, there on the right-hand side between the cars, he's actually got the speakers from a real, honest-to-goodness drive-in. I just thought that those are really cool pictures, give you some different ideas.
Really neat ideas.
Yeah, I thought so, too. All right. If you're a member of a car, truck, or Jeep club, we'd like to put your bunch in our Car Club Spotlight. All you have to do is shoot us an email with the contact information to info@inwheeltime.com. Auto history. I've actually kind of gotten into this because every week something different.
There's a couple of nuggets that you didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know, and I find out as I research them. So, yeah, I really enjoy researching this. So, this week in 1897, and of course, Ransom Eli Olds in Lansing, Michigan, founded.
How did we know that it was going to be Oldsmobile time?
He founded Olds Motor Works, which later became Oldsmobile. And remember, there was a point in time when Ransom was booted from Oldsmobile, and he created REO. Ransom
Speedwagon?
Band?
Yeah. REO Speed, the band.
That was a band.
The band, yeah, he's a hard rocker. And no, REO, the
truck company.
truck line. So in 1905, an attorney filed to register the Cadillac crest as its trademark this week. And to this day, that crest is part of the Cadillac logo.
Yes. Well, I don't know.
Yep.
I think that the crest.
Oh, they removed the crest. They took the ducks out as well. Yeah, but it's still part of the logo.
Because we're talking to Mr. Cadillac, Jeff
I know.
Zekin, on this.
We need more Jeff on the show is what I keep seeing on Facebook.
We need more Jeff?
Yeah, but I think Jeff's the one who posts.
Yeah, but
Jeff posted it. Yeah.
So this week in 1909, in front of 12,000 spectators, which is going to be more than there is tomorrow, automotive engineer Louis Schweitzer wins the first inaugural race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It was a 5-mile race. They raced 2 laps. And you got to remember, originally, Indianapolis Motor Speedway was all brick. All the way around the track was brick.
Can you imagine what that ride was like?
Oh.
Yeah.
You like that? It's pretty good sound effects, isn't it? But,
Did I hear that again?
In 1927, Henry and Edsel Ford drove the 15 millionth Model T off the assembly line at Highland Park in Michigan, officially ending Model T production. They
Thank
made
God.
15 million of those, and that's why you can still find them today at a relatively fair price. In 1937, Toyota Motor Company was established. In 1958, the production of the Packard line came to an end. In 1984, this week, after 30 hours of deliberation, a jury of 6 men and 6 women unanimously acquit former automaker, John DeLorean, from 8 counts of drug trafficking in California. In 1985, the last episode of The Dukes of Hazzard aired, and the crowd goes, "Aww." And then in 1991...
I'm wearing Daisy Dukes right now.
Don't stand up. Please don't stand up. In 1991, Mazda introduced or announced the introduction of the new luxury line for Mazda called Amati.
Okay.
That didn't last very long.
I was going to say.
When you look at, Toyota introduced Lexus, Nissan introduced Infiniti, Honda introduced Acura, Mazda introduced Amati, and it was an absolute bomb.
Thank you.
This week in automotive history.
This week's auto news coming up next on the In Wheel Time Car Show.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild-to-wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com.
You're on the In Wheel Time Car Show. Thanks for riding along. Time now for the stories making auto news headlines this week. Kind of teased this earlier in the hour. Ram put the truck world on notice in 2016 when it unwrapped a hulking TRX pickup concept that delivered 575 horsepower. We'll scratch that. Now, the off-road Speedster is nearly here, and it has outdone the concept by raising the bar to 702 horsepower. The updated engine output leapfrogs the 450 horsepower of the Ford F-150 Raptor. I didn't realize that it was only 450 horsepower.
Twin-turbo V6.
Giving Ram bragging rights in the hyper-competitive pickup market. 2021 Ram 1500 TRX introduced as a concept at the State Fair of Texas 4 years ago. Jets from 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, 0 to 100 in 10 seconds. Tops out at 118 miles an hour. And is rated at 450 pound-feet of torque. TRX loaded with the same supercharged 6.2-liter Hemi V8 engine that powers Dodge's Hellcat line. FCA re-engineered and fortified the frame for the TRX, which is 75% changed from the 1500. And notice that I did not say that it was a Ram 1500, because it is not.
And the launch edition sold out in people raising their hand
10
for
minutes.
It.
10 minutes. It was gone.
Pretty awesome.
All 702 editions.
Yeah, I remember whenever they unveiled that up there in at Dallas at the State Fair. And
right.
They fired that thing up, and it would just.
What did they unleash it there with open headers? No,
it didn't have open headers, but it was on a stage, so it had plenty of volume echo coming.
See, I would have said, cutouts. Open headers.
Morrison was with Ram at the time, so he got in it, and he blipped it a couple of times, and we kept thinking, well, it'd be a good place to do a burnout right there on the stage.
Absolutely.
But they didn't quite go that far.
Burnout on
but
the
it was
stage.
Cool.
Hey, Mercedes-Benz is dropping the Freightliner Sprinter van in the U.S. at the end of 2021, with output ending a South Carolina plant in September 2021. Mercedes has sold the Sprinter van through two channels, Freightliner and Mercedes-Benz dealers, and will continue to build and market Mercedes versions, but no Freightliner. Company cited multiple factors for the decision to drop the Freightliner, introduced in 2001, including current and future economic conditions, as well as COVID-19.
And they sell a lot of them. You can see all those gray Amazon vans. There's tons of those that are the Sprinter vans.
Yep. Nissan will discontinue sales of its full-size Titan pickup truck in Canada, a struggling truck market this year. I did not realize that Canada was a struggling truck market.
No, I didn't either. I figured it'd be booming.
Canadian sales of the Titan last year cratered to 2,807, down nearly half from a year before. Okay. Is that a sign of things to come? Because I heard that Nissan was actually going to redesign the Titan and actually going to give it a freshen up to get sales moving a little bit, because sales have been in the dump. They dropped that Cummins diesel engine out of it.
They spent a lot of money developing that.
They did.
Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to our international viewer. Mike Knotts is watching from Frankfurt, Germany.
Oh, wow.
So we have an international reach here at In Wheel Time.
Yavo, you're on the In Wheel Time car show. We'll back after this.
A crying baby is impossible to ignore, but a quiet baby can be easy to forget. Every year, dozens of children lose their lives because otherwise attentive adults forgot they were in the back seat. It only takes a moment for a car to heat up to dangerous levels, even on cooler days. So get in the habit of always looking in the back seat and use reminders to ensure baby is always with you. Where's baby? Look before you lock. Paid for by NHTSA.
There's no greater pain a parent can suffer than losing a child. And yet, heat stroke deaths in hot cars are on the rise. The temperature inside a vehicle can reach deadly levels in just a few minutes. Leaving windows cracked does not help. These preventable deaths can occur even when the outside temperature is as low as 57 degrees. Never leave your baby or child in a vehicle, even for a short period. And always check the back seat before you get out of the car. Where's baby? Look before you lock. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Hey, thanks for checking us out. Don Armstrong saying be sure and join us live every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time on YouTube, Facebook, and InWheelTime.com. Our podcasts are also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. We'll see you next time.